Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Welcome. I currently do lifestyle, beauty, and fashion videos. Right now, my main focus is lifestyle. So if you're interested in today's video, I will be talking all about giving you all the tea on my first dose of the Pfizer COVID vaccine. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Hey guys, I feel pretty crappy today. I don't know if it's anxiety or whatever, but I'm supposed to be going to get this vaccine today, and I just feel so completely out of it. Didn't feel that great yesterday. I think it's allergy season and it's kicking my behind. So now I have to go get dressed so I can go get this first vaccine. I don't know which one I'm getting. I wish I knew which one I'm getting, but it doesn't matter. It would be nice if I got the Johnson & Johnson, but for some reason I don't think I'm getting that. I'm going to Rowan College. It's in Sewell, New Jersey, and it's about an hour and 11 minutes from here. So I'm gonna go do that today. I have mixed feelings. I kind of just want to get it over with and get it done, to be honest with you. And then part of me is like, girl, what are you doing? Like, why are you getting this? But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get it. And maybe jamming. I'm nervous.
Hey,
Ah,
how was it?
it was scary. Like, you had to go into one line to go into another line to go into another line. But then when you get the shot, they're like, doosh, and that's it. So let's see if I die. I'm just joking. Well, let's go get something to eat. Finally made it home. And I forgot to cancel or skip this week. So now I have a fresh HelloFresh delivery here. So now I have to cook this, but I ain't cooking it tonight. Order some Longhorn. Cleveland's gonna pick that up. I'm exhausted, to say the least. So I'm gonna eat, and then I'm probably just gonna relax for the rest of the night. I'll show you what I got from Longhorn though. So, disclosure, I know I started off that day saying how exhausted and tired I was, but I can't totally blame it on any vaccine. As you can see in the video, I was exhausted. I do suffer from seasonal allergies, so I woke up that morning feeling like complete trash. Like, I was exhausted by any means. I was tired. I think I went home early from work the previous day. So that didn't make it any better. So when I got there, the line for just the vehicles was ridiculous. Like, I know people from my job that were like, oh, it was just a really easy process. I went in, I went out. It was no more than 30 minutes. However, for me, I was in line for a good, I want to say an hour and a half,
which is fine. It was very, very organized, and I met some really, really, really pretty interesting people while I was in line. Everyone was super duper nice, super, super duper professional, but again, it was an hour and a half wait. The shot literally took about two seconds for that shot. The long hour and a half line, a nurse just comes up to you, confirms your name, confirms they just take the needle, and it literally takes 1 second. 1 second, guys. In your arm, you're done. Then they put you into another room. I couldn't record in the room, but then they put you into another room for observation. They stick you with a little note to tell you how long you have to stay in observation for. Of course, there's a social distancing there. And then after you're in observation, you get an announcement that says if you're here between the time of 5:15 to 5:30 and you feel no effects from the vaccine, then you can leave. So that's what I did. I got in the car, I felt okay, and it was fine, to be honest with you. What I did feel that day, I did feel exhausted, but again, I can't say it was from the first dose of the vaccine. I can say that I, again, had allergies, so it was about an hour and 15 minutes from my house. I couldn't find an appointment closer to me. And mind you, there's a CVS right up the block from my job. Well, not from my job, but right up the block from my house. And all of these slots were filled. So I had to drive an hour and 15 minutes to Rowan College in Sewell, New Jersey. But again, the experience was cool. It was super, super nice. The only thing that I had a problem with was the line. But you know there's going to be a line because everybody is trying to get this vaccine. So let's talk about why I got the vaccine. Number one, my job was very, very, very persistent about getting those numbers up for the vaccine because I believe they just want a sense of normalcy. Right now, we currently walk around in mask. If you see my Come to Work With Me videos, I'll link it up there somewhere. You'll see that I currently always have a mask on my chin, and when we walk around the office, we wear masks. We've been doing that since March of 2020, and we still continue to do so. So that was one of the reasons why I got the Pfizer vaccine. I sound super nasal. I am sorry. I am getting over a sinus infection, but we will get into that later on in this video. Anywho, so when I finished, the second reason why I got the vaccine is that I want to be able to travel, and I'm hearing in some places, I don't know if this is true, don't take my word for it, but I'm hearing in some places you're going to have to present your vaccine card if you want to travel. So I didn't want to run into a problem where I want to go on vacation, I want to travel, I want to visit my family, and I'm not able to. So that was another reason why I got the vaccine, which falls into my third reason I got it, is because I don't want to have to worry about getting someone that I love sick, as far as my mother or her husband or my nieces or my sisters or anybody like that. So I decided that it would be in my best interest to go ahead and get the vaccine and not have to worry about it. What I have felt are cons about the vaccine is that it basically took about a year for them to come up with this vaccine, and I kind of felt a little iffy about it. Like, I don't want to hear somewhere down the line like, oh yeah, we forgot, like it causes infidelity or it causes sterilization, you know, so you may not have kids. I don't want to hear about that, but it causes you to be sterile, you know. It would suck to hear about that, but for some reason, you know, I just decided to go ahead and take it. Like I said, the side effects from the first dose was mild, so I'm okay with that. However, my main complaint was hearing later down the line is that some major problems in the body that you have no control over because this is already in your body. But then I thought about it, you know, people take the flu shot every year, and I know it's not the same as the flu shot. However, I was just like, let me just go for it, see what happens. And I'm not trying to say that the vaccine will basically protect you from getting COVID, but the symptoms, if you do get COVID, would be less severe, you know, compared to someone who did not get the vaccine. You hear me? So I just decided to go ahead and do it. Now, 3 days after I got the vaccine, I still felt like crap. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I felt like crap. But I think it's because I let my seasonal allergies turn into a sinus infection. So I couldn't breathe some nights. I just felt horrible. So I decided, let me go to the city MD because I felt like my symptoms were getting a lot worse. This was 4 days after I got the vaccine. So I went to the city MD. Of course, it's a long line. And everybody was in line to get either the PCR test, which is the swab under your nose, or the rapid. They still do the swab under your nose, but I don't think it's so severe. So I went to the city MD thinking that they were just going to give me some antibiotics for what I believe was a sinus infection. I went in there. They put me in isolation, guys. They were like, well, and it didn't help that I was sneezing in the freaking waiting room. But again, I had a sinus infection. I didn't think it had anything to do or anything related to COVID. So I went into the room. They put me in isolation right away. So I'm just sitting there and I'm suffering. The nurse comes in. She asks me all about my symptoms. The first thing that she said is, your symptoms sound a lot like COVID. So we're going to go ahead and give you a rapid test, and then we're going to give you the PCR test. Completely was not expecting that. I really just wanted some antibiotics. So then she comes in and she does the rapid. The swab is about, I would say, 2 inches, and she just goes in each nostril and she puts the swab under each nostril. So I was like, okay, that's fine, that's cool or whatever. It wasn't too bad. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't too bad. So then she's like, okay, now it's time for your PCR test. Mind you, I told them I had the first dose of the Pfizer, but you can still technically get COVID even if you have the vaccine. So the doctor comes in, doesn't say hi, doesn't say anything, kiss my butt, nothing. She just comes in. She's like, oh, hey, so I'm going to give you the PCR test. Pulls out this long, like I'm exaggerating. She pulls out this 5-inch stick, and it has this swab that's about 2 inches. And then she comes in there. She doesn't say, how are you feeling, what's your present symptoms, or anything like that. She just comes in. She said, I'm giving you the PCR test. She's like, put the mask under your nose, and she sticks this thing up my freaking nose. And I was just like, yo, seriously? So she sticks this thing up my nose, and I'm just sitting there like, yo, this sucks. Like, this truly sucks. Then she walks out, and it was no like, how are you feeling after I got you the PCR? It was just like, all right, do you need a doctor's note to take to your boss? And I was like, yeah. So then she just gives me this note, and she was like, well, that's it. Have a good day. I was like, wow, rude. So then the nurse comes in, and I'm like, well, I still can't breathe, and is there any way that y'all can treat me for my symptoms, for my allergies or my sinus infection? She was just like, no. So all you need to do is just stay hydrated and get plenty of rest, and you should quarantine until you get your PCR results. Didn't know that at City Med, your PCR results take 5 to 7 days. So don't go there. If you're traveling, side note, if you're going to go to travel somewhere and you need your results fast, do not go to City MD in Manhattan, baby, because you will not get your results until 5 to 7 days. And who has time to miss 5 to 7 days of work? Who has time? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow, like I came in here for one thing. I already got the vaccine, and now you're telling me I have to quarantine, and I just had to take a PCR and a rapid test. So I'm like, okay. So of course I can't just go back to my job and be like, oh, everything's fine. I'm an honest person. So I went back to my job with no antibiotics. I gave my boss the letter, and I was like, hey, I'm in quarantine. So of course I had to leave my job right away because they don't take just the rapid test. Mind you, the rapid test came back negative. They only take the PCR results because they're, what is the word that I am looking for? I can't find the word. They say they're more accurate. There you go. So after that, I went home, and I was just like, it's Thursday, and I'm like, I'm going to miss work 5 to 7 days because I took this test and I went to go get treated for a freaking sinus infection. So I was like, no. I asked around, and my coworker told me about a place, Mount Sinai, on 55th Street in Manhattan. If you're in New York, I strongly suggest that you go to that place, that hospital, because they are so efficient. They're excellent. They were great. And they treated me for my sinus infection. It was not COVID. However, they treated me like a person there. They prescribed me for some antibiotics for my symptoms, my sinus infection symptoms, and they gave me a PCR test. Again, they did put me in isolation because they said allergy-related symptoms go hand in hand with COVID symptoms. So they put me in isolation. They gave me a PCR test. Guys, I got my results back. I want to say the next day. It was awesome. It was great. But so my final thoughts on the COVID-19 dose or first shot is it wasn't that bad. I think I was hyping it up in my mind to be worse than it was. And it really wasn't that bad. Now, I do hear from a lot of people that the second shot can be more severe. And I know about maybe 4 people that have taken the second dose of even the Pfizer. They've taken the Johnson & Johnson, and they've taken the Moderna. I've heard of people getting sick off of the Johnson & Johnson. I only know one person that took that. I've heard of people getting sick off of the second dose of the Pfizer. Now, I'm scheduled to take my Pfizer vaccine April 17th at the same location, an hour and 15 minutes away. But hopefully the line for the second dose won't be as long as the first one. But I am a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because people from my job have told me that when they have taken the second shot, they had flu-like symptoms, and it really put them on their butt. So I'm taking on a Saturday, so that will give me time to recuperate on Sunday if I do develop symptoms from the second dose. And I'm really hoping I don't, because that would suck like no other. But it is what it is. So my final thoughts to you is about the vaccine is do not feel pressured to take it. If you feel some kind of way and you feel like you shouldn't take it and put this into your body, I say don't. Don't do it for anybody else. Just do it for yourself. Of course, do your research. And when you're comfortable, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I'm still a little leery. I'm not going to lie to you, but I did it. And it is what it is. So, all right, guys. So I think we've come to the conclusion of this video. And if you like the video and you want to know all about my second dose of the Pfizer vaccine, I will make sure to put out another video about that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will definitely see you guys in the next video. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. Happy Easter, all of that jazz. And be well. That's all I can say.